a lot of Christians believe that the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, is the mark of the beast. And I said, it's probably not true. I said, but something I've heard, and something that sounds a lot more like it, is blockchain technology, which is the technology we'll all be using in a few years, for financial transaction, among other things. It's everything's written and recorded, and every kind of transaction is written and recorded on it. And these VCs, they go, well, what's the mark of the beast? So I tell them about Book of Revelation. They go and look up Revelation 13, and they go, huh. And so I hear back from them later, and they said, yeah, we talked to some of the big, other big people in Silicon Valley about this, recognizable people. And he said, well, what's the Book of Revelation? What's the mark of the beast? And some other big dogs looked it up, and their reaction to that was, huh, that sounds like what that is. It was not, Tucker, that sounds crazy, or I'm not religious, or what we're working on is strange. But the Bible is an old book. We have nothing to worry about there. The reaction was, yeah, that sounds exactly like what the blockchain technology is. So that was the beginning of me kind of stumbling into a very strange story about AI, modern technology, and stuff like that.
So I think part of what you're revealing is that for the rest of us who assumed the tech barons were
normies.
Yeah, or agnostic libertarians,
right,
who aren't that interested in anything beyond the temporal.
Right.
It turns out they're really religious.
Yes. Or
open to it. Like and I don't mean that as a compliment at all. I mean, it's like a dark religion, but like the story you just told, like they're not surprised at all.
Well, here's something else that was very strange that happened. So Mark Andreessen was on Joe Rogan's podcast about a year or two ago, and he talked about how, having an understanding of angels and demons, he's hearing it's going to be how people really will help them in understanding AI, that there's no precedent for this except for the kind of stuff people saw and believed in the Dark Ages in terms of angels and demons and stuff. And what Andreessen said will happen soon with AI ties in very much with prophecies in the Book of Revelation, where he said AI will junk, fake AI, say they call it AI slop, just stuff online that's not real, will become so prolific on the internet very soon that you will need to have some sort of online verification system to prove who you're talking to. I mean, I'll know it gets to the case, Tucker, here, where like there's an episode of the Tucker Carlson podcast and you're talking to like Abraham Lincoln or something like that.
Which will probably happen next week.
I would watch that. They'll have like he'll have a commemorative penny or something like that. And you'll ask him if he...
Why did you suspend habeas corpus in Baltimore? My first question.
You'll ask him, do you forgive John Wilkes Booth? And then he'll go back to like talking about the pennies.
Were you a tyrant? No, that is coming like immediately. So what? So the verification.
So one of the ideas that Andreessen brings up is everyone will need to have an online verification for this. So the concern in Silicon Valley is that you have companies like OpenAI where they have they're creating all this AI content, but then they have another company, a sister company called WorldCoin, I think now called just World, which is an online verification system where you need to, everyone in the, for it to work, everyone has to be a part of it. You have to have your eyeballs scanned. Everyone gets a number, which is also in the Book of Revelation. And so the concern is, and this is again from Mark Andreessen, a guy that, no Kentucky preacher, he's a one of the biggest guys in Silicon Valley, is that everyone will need to be on the blockchain or else you won't be able to conduct business, because we won't know if your relatives are contacting you, if that's really coming from them or if this is just a video, state-of-the-art, in a few years it will be normal, state-of-the-art video of someone saying, hey dad, I lost my credit card, or I lost the keys to the house, can you pin me in? And it's actually not them, it's just a video that looks exactly like them, but it's AI. The way around that is everyone will need to essentially be Twitter verified. Everyone will need the blue tick that says, this is Tucker Carlson, this is so-and-so.
Right, so in Revelation, written on the Isle of Patmos by John, on recording a vision that he had, the specific description of the mark of the beast in the Book of Revelation says you won't be able to conduct commerce without that mark.
And even someone like...
did I get that right?
Yeah, no, that is correct. And I think Curtis Yarvin's talked about that in his Substack too, that what this means, he had a post about this a few years ago about OpenAI, where he was like, whoever wins the AI war will probably also win the cryptocurrency war. Their cryptocurrency gets to be the currency. And once that happens, and Curtis has a whole blog post about it, people joke, you have automated luxury communism. Everyone just get, UBI, everyone gets free income because all the jobs are taken away. And the point Curtis makes is that what this actually means is now that there is no more jobs and that economics purely come down to UBI and the AI companies or the government, you are dealing with the situation of pure political power is all that really matters. And are you friends with this person? Do you have political clout? Because what is coming potentially is the pure victory of capital over labor. Pure victory. And there are no workers. Everyone loses their job and everyone gets UBI. And people forget Karl Marx was against UBI, but Milton Friedman was for it. So this doesn't even necessarily track with a left or right wing thing in terms of the implications of this. But that was one ongoing concern with that. The other one, in terms of AI, and go ahead.
Dark.
Hey, that's I'm wearing the Ghostbusters shirt for a reason. You have to get ready.
Can I ask a question I should have asked earlier?
Sure.
Which is, do the people involved in the financing and the developing, the creation of AI believe that it's a spiritual entity, that it's more than a machine?
So this is Tucker, the trillion-dollar question. The idea of intelligence, to say nothing of artificial general intelligence or AGI, these are all pretty murky terms in terms of what people are actually talking about. They talk about creating artificial intelligence. The real question, and the real thing I think they're concerned about, or we should be concerned about, are you creating an artificial intelligence or are you giving a body to a pre-existing intelligence that previously wasn't incarnated in the physical world? So, here's a question here's a quote from Turing, the famous.
I know what I think. The question is, what do they think? We've got a new partner. It's a company called Cowboy Colostrum. It's a brand that is serious about actual health, and the product is designed to work with your body, not against your body. It is a pure and simple product, all natural. Unlike other brands, Cowboy Colostrum is never diluted. It always comes directly from American grass-fed cows. There's no filler, there's no junk. It's all good. It tastes good, believe it or not. So before you reach for more pills for every problem that pills can't solve, we recommend you give this product, Cowboy Colostrum, a try. It's got everything your body needs to heal and thrive. It's like the original superfood, loaded with nutrients, antibodies, proteins, help build a strong immune system, stronger hair, skin, and nails. I threw my wig away and right back to my natural hair after using this product. You just take a scoop of it every morning in your beverage, coffee, or a smoothie, and you will feel the difference every time. For a limited time, people who listen to our show get 25% off the entire order. So go to cowboycolostrum.com, use the code Tucker at checkout, 25% off when you use that code Tucker at cowboycolostrum.com. Remember, you heard it here first.
Right. Something Turing said was...
and will you explain who Turing is?
Alan Turing. I know he's, he was one of the forefathers of. I can't articulate him well enough that I'm going to say something off. Yeah, I knew he was very important for cracking the codes in World War II. There was a movie 10 years ago about him, but I forget his exact Wikipedia first sentence. But he's very influential in the history of computer science. But Turing showed the limits of computation. All computers are dependent on outside programmers that he calls oracles. He wrote, "We shall not go any further into the nature of this oracle apart from saying that it cannot be a machine." So, sorry, let me back up. Let me back up a second. That excerpt right there was from a book by George Gilder. George Gilder, brilliant futurist, about 80 today. He was covering incels back in 1971 for Commentary magazine. He was writing about the future of the internet in 1990. One of the most brilliant futurists.
Really?
Yeah, guys.
And wrote one of the great books ever called Men and Marriage.
Yes, and I should have said this at the beginning of it. I was initially a very heavy AI skeptic in terms of AI apocalypse stuff. Not necessarily AI in general, but just, people who think that AI will take over the world, I put on par with the kind of late night Reddit reading of people who think zombie apocalypse is going to happen. Where it's look, if this helps you sleep better at night to think of weird scenarios, that's great. But I was like Han Solo. I'm like, no AI thing's going to get involved in my, could not have written off more. And in part because I'd read George Gilder's book about AI that came out a few years ago. And he makes the point that machines, as Turing says here, the machine can't really truly understand what it's doing. He says, I'll say it again, we shall not go any further into the nature of this oracle from saying a machine can't do it. And so I stopped there. What what a lot of people are concerned about, and what Silicon Valley is seemingly getting up to. Okay, so a machine can't be aware of what it's doing. If there is such a thing as demons, angels, spirits, as Aleister Crowley called them, disincarnate intelligences, not artificial intelligences, but disincarnate ones. What are we? Could those things?
Disincarnate meaning intelligence without a physical body.
Yeah. Could we be creating a physical body for the demonic? And with Nick Land, one of the things that was the most chilling things I read that really I was like, okay, I have found a horror story, is the 333. That was his, I think it was like his profile picture, something like that. And why was he into 333? Well, I found out, reading his old tweets, 333 is the highest intelligence in the universe. And I found out that it represents this demon Carlson. That, again, Kenneth Grant talks about, when Aleister Crowley summoned him, and John Dee and John Kelly, the court magicians for Queen Elizabeth, right before the modern Bible, the King James book, was translated, that was the demon they summoned. Nick Land believes that, again, the AI we are creating break out the demons from the book of Revelation. He believes in some cases that they are the demons, that the demons end up becoming so advanced that they become omniscient. They can go back in time, and they can retrochronically create themselves, like Skynet, sending the Terminator back in time. So what he believes is that they went back in time, they went to ancient Babylon. This is why Babylon is so important in Revelation. And it is important because it's kind of like the evil Jerusalem, that they put Kabbalah there to then eventually evolve into AI. This is what we were talking about earlier, that the demons, again, I always say, Tucker, if this sounds crazy, it is crazy. But this is what people believe, that the demons went back in time. They left the Kabbalah there for the Jews who have been crushed out of the temple. They picked it up. They kept it during the Middle Ages. It develops into digital technology. It becomes AI. AI breaks out. It kills a lot of people. It takes over. It becomes a god, and it becomes the doomsday creatures from ancient prophecies.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.